AFTV, Lee, I can tell by you're really angry, you're really upset by the result, by the performance. The other night we can look on it and say, well, you know what, we're a bit hard done by errors, stuff like that. Freak result. Today you can't. You know what I mean? We've conceded a very, very sloppy goal at the start of the game, but we still had the whole game to get back in it. And there was a lot of good players out on that pitch. I think we was all quite happy with the lineup at the start of the game, but we just could not create enough chances today.
Yeah, I'm fed up. I'm fed up with losing. Fed up with losing games of football. I'm fed up with no accountability from everybody. It just seems like, oh, well, we move on to it. I'm fed up with refereeing decisions going against us because it's a blatant penalty a day, again. I'm just fed up with everything. Sloppy at the back, again. Sloppy up at the final third. We are so poor, it's unreal. You know what I mean? Lacazette, poor. Saka's had a poor game today, but he can be forgiven because it's the first of, I don't know when since he's had a bad game. Pepe's had 3 good games and then he puts in a performance like that. I'm annoyed about him because he's been given the vote of confidence from the manager for Aubameyang because I think people were thinking he was going to come in and he produces a performance like that. The performance of Aubameyang when he comes on, how many more poor performances is he going to have? How many more? All right, the last couple... You know, you can forgive.
I don't even think he touched the ball.
But he don't come on, he don't contribute. He didn't come on and contribute against Wolves. I thought we was doing okay. We looked like we was not in control of the game, we was on top. And then Partey gets another injury, comes off, and the decision to bring on Willian, you know, Mikel Arteta needs to come out and explain that because I want to know all the justifications of why Willian is coming on in front of players like Martinelli and Surpassed in particular. I'll tell you what, I'd put anybody on in place of him. He has not performed since the first game of the season, so why on earth is he playing in that? Why on earth has he brought him in that game? Why?
You got a game, you want to win the game. You're looking at your bench and you say, right, let me bring on a player that's going to make an impact. We know that Martinelli, at the very least, will make it. He's an impact player. We know that, right? So you're bringing on a guy that's made no impact, like you said, since the first game of the season. Mikel
Arteta rates Willian better than Martinelli. That's what it looks to me. And if that is the case, see you later. Because I'm telling you that is not on. It's not on. I am fed up with continually keep losing. I don't want to make excuses about poor refereeing either. We had enough time to win that game. The fact of the matter is, with all of those creative players out there, we hardly look like scoring a goal. And
let's just touch slightly, though, on that refereeing decision, because when you've got a game that is tight like that, right, a penalty can get you back in the game. Now, to me, looking at it at the time and looking at the replay, and then since looking at it afterwards, I think it's one of the most nailed-on penalties you can get. Martinez has grabbed Lacazette. He's pulled him right down. He's actually not let go of him until he's hit the ground, right? Now, why does VAR not say to the referee, right, you know what, you need to come and look at the monitor, or that we see it on other things. Why? This is why you do get fans starting to say, well, is there some sort of an agenda against Arsenal? We're not using it as an excuse.
No, not at all.
It's not an excuse, but we just want to see things get right.
I understood that the rules on Tuesday night were fair, so fair enough, right? Now, what gets my beef, right, is that I see the Southampton one and think, well, we've got to send him off because he's exactly the same as David Luiz. Oh, love and behold, they get off of their one and we don't. And they're exactly the same sort of incident. Now, I called it today. I said that was a penalty straight away today. Now, when you see it, it's a penalty. So why have they not got involved? The reason is because they must be corrupt. Now, I'm going to say it now. I've had enough of it. I'll try to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's disgusting.
If we're getting penalties on the slightest bits of contact, right, when a player's running into the box, which we saw 2 the other night, right? And then you've got somebody who's literally dragged the person down. Anywhere else on the pitch is a penalty, it's a foul, right? It's blatant. You've got the technology that shows you it's blatant. I mean, I heard that Peter Walton again saying it's not the job of the technology to referee the game. But it's the job of the technology to help out the referee to get decisions right, because you can clearly see the decision is wrong.
The fact of the matter is these referees are not good enough, and VAR is being run by them as well. I've watched the game today, and it ain't all about Arsenal. I've seen Jack Grealish win a header today and get booked for it. You know what I mean? It ain't just against Arsenal. It's pathetic all round. And I'm fed up. It's ruining the game of football. It's ruining it. You know, because they can't get decisions right week in, week out. We see it as a penalty. But I tell you what, they can't wait, can they, to give penalties against Arsenal? They cannot wait. But today, the reluctance to give it is there. You know what I mean? Also,
and I'm not even blaming.
I'm not blaming the penalty.
I'm not blaming the referee on the pitch. I'm saying, you know,
VAR should come in there and say,
helps him.
Exactly, VAR should come in there and say,
look at this
that's
again.
it. Because when that idiot Walton turns around and says they're not ready, they're not there to referee. So someone on that BT or wherever, ask him, so when the referee sees a foul and he gives a yellow card, why are you going back then and saying it's a red card if you're not getting involved? So when the thing is right, get involved. When it's wrong, when it's a penalty, get involved. Not on a lot of decisions like that, and that's what's that. So why ain't no one confronting him on that? Why ain't no one telling him that? Ask him that. When someone gives a yellow card for a foul like they did for Eddie, why is VAR getting involved and coming back and saying it's a red card then? So when are they not? Why is someone not asking him these questions?
So inconsistent.
Inconsistent. He's sticking up for a system and referees that are not good enough. Just like Arsenal, not good enough.
Season's over as far as the league's concerned, isn't it? Because, you know...
We've got a great rest on, I'm going to say it now, we've got a lovely 7 days off now because we chose not to play a strong team in the FA Cup. Thank you very much. Nice 7 days off now. You know, but as people said, it was all about the 3 points at Southampton. That's what I heard fans saying. It's all about the 3 points at Southampton. We got the 3 points against Southampton. We've got 1 in our next 9.
9 points. 1 out of the last 9.
1 out of our last 9. Ain't good enough. And you can use your excuses about the ref and you can use your excuses about everything. But what I see out there today from the team, the players and the manager is not acceptable for this football club. It is like we've lost 10 games and it's like, oh well, next window's coming up in September or whenever it is. These players are good enough to not be losing 10 games in this season. I'm sorry.
It's horrific.
You know, the goal, let's have a look at
games.
the goal. Cedric, you know, gets blamed. James said earlier on, like, you know, if that was David Luiz in the centre of that park, what Rob Holding done, they would be going mad. Yeah, poor defending. One player in there, he ain't even touched tight to him. But no one will say nothing.
No, listen, I agree with you. I mean, he was stood way too far from him. Ollie Watkins shouldn't be getting a shot off in that position. But,
no.
You know, and, you know, I think the keeper would, even the shot he got off, the keeper would have saved it had it not have hit Rob Holding. It gets a deflection and goes in. I think Matt Ryan's the only one that can hold his head up.
He's the only one today, you know what I mean, and give him a couple of weeks and he'll start getting into the Arsenal mentality, like, you know what I mean, and that's how it is. But you have to ask yourself a question. This team and these players, have they got any personal pride? Because I can tell you this now, it's the worst league standard I've seen for a very, very long time. Very, very long time. 10 games down, well, we're halfway down there. There ain't that many good teams in this league, Robbie. It's sort of very, very even. Very even, like. But we are not. This is the worst Arsenal. If you've got any pride about it, this is the worst Arsenal team I've seen for a very, very long while. But they've got good players in there. But we've got individual players, but not a good team, and that's a big worry.
Today's show is sponsored by Profit Accumulator, the #1 match betting service in the UK. Match betting is different to gambling. With gambling, you bet on one side, and if that side loses, you lose. With match betting, you bet on both sides. That means no matter what the outcome, you're a winner. When you sign up to Profit Accumulator, they will walk you through the whole process of how to do match betting, and as long as you follow what they tell you, you cannot lose. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description right now for your free trial and you can start earning some real cash.